So that's it, guys. I'm Sage Valentine, and leave me some comments. Let me know who you're rooting for, who you want to win HOH, who you see being nominated, winning the veto, and being evicted on Wednesday. I believe that's what they said, that somebody's going to be evicted on Wednesday. Other than that, I'm Sage Valentine, signing off. I love you guys. Until Monday, because I know the episode airs on Sunday, but I'll have this review done on Monday. Bye, guys. I love you all. Bye. So James tells Natalie that he's been holding them, their showmance, together for 80 days, and pretty much he ends up taking everything that Natalie says to him while she's upset to heart. James tells us he regrets getting into a showmance. James tells Corey that Natalie is pissed off at him, James, because she's going home. And I'm just like, shut up, James. Just quiet. Stop talking. Natalie is upset because she betrayed Paul and Victor and she wanted to work with them. But James wanted to work with Nicole and Corey. But where's the lie? Because that's exactly what happened. Anyways, Corey and Nicole are talking, and Corey calls Natalie a brat. This coming from somebody who's always spaced out sometimes in the diary room, most of the time in the house. But anyway, Corey says that Natalie is putting everything on James, and it's time that they pull James in. Nicole thinks that Paul and Victor are working James, and she wants to axe that. She wants to end that whole situation. James and Natalie are together. Natalie decides she doesn't want to talk anymore. She just wants to sleep alone. She wants him to just let her live, and she's tired of arguing, and she basically says she can't wait to leave and go to jury. At one point, I was reading one of the entries on Tumblr where Natalie said something about she needs to get out of this toxic environment. She needs to get away from these toxic people. And you're probably wondering, why didn't you watch the feeds today? I tried to. My feeds were acting really wonky at one point. Kind of mad at that. But when I finish this review, I will go back to watching the feeds for at least an hour, because I need to know what's going on and who's going to be nominated next, so I can tell you guys. James calls Natalie a brat, and I'm just like, he claims Natalie's true colors are coming out, and he heard that she threw him under the bus. And she says she didn't, but James doesn't believe it. James wonders what her endgame was, and he thinks that she was using him. I mean, that's usually what happens in a showmance. But James was so lost in this romantic thing that James didn't pay attention that a showmance is what a showmance is. Most of these romances happen outside of the house. It's just that the showmances from earlier seasons were showmances that had some sort of potential. See, I've never thought that James and Natalie really had that much potential. Hell, I don't think that Nicole and Corey have potential, and I sure don't think that Paul and Zakia do. So all of a sudden, James decides to mention that Natalie went from Victor to Corey to Paulie. And you're probably saying, Sage Valentine, what the heck is he talking about? Well, here goes. Before the feeds popped up, there was some sort of small, little, kind of sort of relationship. I wouldn't call it a relationship, but maybe a little bit of flirting between Natalie and Victor. And then Victor decided he didn't want to be with her. Apparently, Natalie was maybe flirting a little bit with Corey, and then she went to Paulie. But it was like kind of sort of like, you know, innocent flirting, but the guys seemed to take it to a whole different level, because I remember the conversation, and I was just like, man, they are dogging the crap out of Natalie. So I don't think that they just started dogging Natalie. They've been doing that for a minute. So then after Paulie, she went to James, and James brings all this up, and he's just like, who are you? Who are you? And I'm like, James, like, dude, you're being used. Even if Natalie is allegedly playing him, James needed to stop and think about what's going on, and are these guys telling the truth? If he thought Natalie was into him, then perhaps maybe he should should have thought about the fact that Paul is a little bit manipulative and Victor just goes along for the ride, but I'm just like, girl, bye. And James tells Natalie, is this the way you want to go out? And James says he's done with Natalie. And I'm like, I'm so glad Big Brother included a segment with Jeff and Jordan, because I needed a break from James and Natalie's drama, because it was just getting to the point where it was just too much. Just too much. So James and Jordan reveal that they got married. Jordan is pregnant and she's having a... Did I say she's having a girl? She's having a boy. I think she said she's having a boy. Jordan didn't think that the duos would last. Jeff is surprised that all 3 duos are in the final 6. Jordan says that James lost himself in the game and he had stars in his eyes when it came to Natalie, but I guess now she's saying his eyes are open. Jordan thinks Victor could win. Jeff thinks that Paul could win. Now we get to the jury, which to me was the best part of the episode, next to the Jeff and Jordan little segment. That was really cute. I hope they come back before the end of the season and are featured. Zakiya and Paulie are cool, so apparently they're back together. My reaction is the same reaction of Davon. I roll. Apparently, Bridget and Davon no longer exist, and as my mother always says, Zakiya is a poor dog, glad of a whipping. Seriously. Michelle walks in the house. Everybody's upset. Michelle's devastated that she was voted out, and she believes it was personal over strategic, of course. That's pretty much how Nicole plays this game. If Paulie had held on just 3 more minutes, he would have been in the house. Everyone in the jury house was shocked that Paul called Michelle the C word. I wasn't, because he said it before. He's also used the N word in the house as well, and it doesn't matter if it has an ER or an A. Neither one is cool with me. I don't feel cool with anybody really using that word, because the history behind that word is still relevant. It is what it is. But back to this review. So the wall competition was pretty much James's competition, and he threw it, and Davon was pissed, but not that surprised that he threw it, but she was more surprised that James threw it to Nicole. Paulie was just shocked. Davon basically said Paul had to have known about that plan to get Michelle out of the house. He just played along. Bridget was just like, Nicole and Corey are pretty much a package deal. And when Paul picked Corey for the veto competition, that pretty much revealed that they were aligned. And Bridget was just like, I don't know how Michelle missed that. I don't know either how she missed it, to be honest. Michelle was hoping that the house would take out a bigger target. And Davon said that Nicole is running the house, and Davon respects that move. Some people were saying that was scripted. Me, I was just like, I know Davon wanted to say something else. I know she did. So it's time for eviction, and Natalie and James make their speeches. Natalie says that she came into the house knowing nothing, and James is stuck with her forever. James said that Natalie is bright and full of energy, and he tells the house that his fate is in their hands, and he will not campaign, and he will live with whatever decision they make. But he pretty much knew that he was saying so. And that's the way the votes went. Paul, Nicole, and Corey all voted for Natalie, and Natalie was evicted, and she hugged everyone and told everyone good luck. When people leave the Big Brother house and they hug people, I tip my hat to them, because I remember there were seasons where people would just side-eye people or just would rush straight for the door and bounce. On a side note, James may not be the person to win the HOH this week, not only because I have a feeling that he's going to throw it, but he gave me the impression that he was going to throw this HOH competition. Natalie tells Julie Chen that she did not throw James under the bus. Nat trusted Nicole and Corey. Nat trusted Vic over Nicole and Corey. Natalie went with James's gut. She said she would never throw James under the bus. She tells Julie Chen James is her soulmate. He is basically her in a guy version, and really country and Asian. It seemed like Julie was kind of side-eyeing that Julie Chen is the shade queen of Big Brother. She will always reign supreme when it comes to shade. And Natalie kept saying, you know, it could turn out romantic, and I'm just like, I plead the fifth on that one. Natalie told James to work with whomever to keep himself in the house and I guess get himself to the end. So in the final little goodbye messages, Victor says, you got me evicted and I'm evicting you. Bye, Victor. Paul said he knew that Natalie was a smart cookie and that she lost his respect. And I'm like, and what does it matter now that she's not in the house and she could have been a vote for you to win? Paul's just not thinking at all. Nicole is upset that she's the only girl left, but I remember her saying earlier in the season that that's what she wanted in the end. She wanted to get rid of all the girls, so I don't buy this fake concern. And she tells Natalie, you handled yourself well and you should be proud. I'm just like, bye, Nicole, bye. James said he had a great time getting to know her and she will always be his number one. We get down to the HOH competition. It's called the Slide-In Theater. The house guests have to transport 8 gallons of butter back and forth to these tanks. These little like fish bowls, and one of them, I think, is a smaller fish bowl. I think that the house guests could win money, or did that have to do with have-not? Somehow I missed that, somehow. But anyways, Corey seemed like he was leading, so this could be Corey's win at this point. James is trailing behind, and I'm wondering, is he trailing behind because he's having trouble, or is he just not trying hard to keep himself out of the line of fire despite the fact that he is in the line of fire? So that's it, guys. I'm Sage Valentine, and leave me some comments. Let me know who you're rooting for, who you want to win HOH, who you see being nominated, winning the veto, and being evicted on Wednesday. I believe that's what they said, that somebody's going to be evicted on Wednesday. Other than that, I'm Sage Valentine, signing off. I love you guys. Until Monday, because I know the episode airs on Sunday, but I'll have this review done on Monday. Bye, guys. I love you all. Bye.